This lesson is on subtracting polynomials. We've already learned how to add polynomials by combining like terms. Well, now we're going to subtract them. This is much more difficult than adding, and I say that not in the sense of difficulty in the math, but a lot of students make careless mistakes because of the subtraction symbol. You have to be much more careful when it comes to subtracting polynomials compared to when you're adding them. So let's discuss the process in subtracting polynomials. Before, when we learned to add polynomials, all we had to do was combine like terms. Well, now there's going to be two steps to subtract polynomials. Step one is we're going to rewrite the problem as an addition problem. After we've rewritten the problem as an addition problem, we can then add, and the way we do that is by combining like terms. So if you can change the problem into an addition problem, then it will be a lot easier. Let's look at this first example. We have 5m plus 2n minus 3 minus 6m plus 4n minus 8. Again, we have two different forms of subtracting the polynomials. We have the horizontal form and we have the vertical form. You are not limited to one or the other. You can do which one you're most comfortable with. So, this one, I'm going to show you the horizontal form. And remember, step one was to rewrite it as an addition problem. So we have 5m plus 2n minus 3 minus this second polynomial. Well, I'm going to change the minus to a plus and then distribute that negative to each term in the second polynomial. I'm going to use that distributive property. So plus negative 6m minus 4n plus 8. I highly recommend that you rewrite the problem so that you don't get confused when it comes time to adding. So plus negative 6m minus 4n plus 8. Now it's like an addition problem. So we're going to put all of our like terms together. We've got 5m and negative 6m. So 5m and negative 6m. We have 2n and negative 4n. So plus 2n minus 4n. And then we have negative 3 and positive 8. So minus 3 plus 8. Now we combine. So 5m minus 6m is the same thing as 5 minus 6, which is negative 1m, or negative m. 2n minus 4n is 2 minus 4, which is negative 2n. And negative 3 plus 8 is positive 5. So our final answer is negative m minus 2n plus 5. Looking at another problem, I'm again still in the horizontal form, but now I have three polynomials I am subtracting. So again, I'm going to take that negative and distribute it to each term, so negative 5q and negative 1, and turn this into an addition problem. So plus negative 3p minus 2q plus 1. So if we rewrite this problem, we have negative 3p minus 2q plus 2 plus negative 5q minus 1 plus negative 3p minus 2q plus 1. Now we're going to combine our like terms. So we have our p's, which is negative 3p minus 3p. We have our q's, which is negative 2q minus 5q minus 2q. And then we have our numbers, positive 2, negative 1, positive 1. So plus 2 minus 1 plus 1. If we combine these terms together, negative 3p minus 3p, negative 3 minus 3 is negative 6p. Negative 2q minus 5q is negative 7q. Minus 2q is negative 9q. And then we have 2 minus 1, which is 1, plus 1 is positive 2. So if you take these problems step by step, it's really not that bad. Now my personal preference is the vertical form. I think it's just easier to visualize, easier to see. But the same steps apply. We have to take that negative, this negative minus sign here, and distribute it. We're going to change it to a plus negative 2x cubed minus 10x squared plus 30x. So let's take a look. We have 8 minus 2, which is 6. Keep the variable, so 6x cubed. Negative 40 plus negative 10 is negative 50x squared. And then 50 plus 30 is plus 80x. I think the vertical form, it's easy to line up. You don't miss any terms. But again, it's all a matter of preference, whichever form you like better. Let's take a look at another example. I want to subtract these two polynomials, but what do you notice? Hopefully you're thinking to yourself, well, they're not lined up according to like terms. Very good if you were thinking that, because this is a problem. So we're going to rewrite it, y squared plus 4y plus 6. And I'm going to, again, combine my like terms, but I'm going to first put the like terms together. Don't forget that the signs go for what's directly in front of it. So when you take this y squared, you better bring the negative with you. So negative y squared, positive 2y, positive 6. So I'm lining them up together. But remember, we're subtracting them. This means we need to change it to an addition problem and change all the negatives to positives and all the positives to negatives. Now, y squared plus y squared, that's 2y squared. 4y minus 2y is positive 2y, and 6 minus 6 is plus 0. Now that 0 is unnecessary, so our final answer is going to be 2y squared plus 2y. Let's take a look at one more example. Remember, as I said in the adding polynomials section, if it's written in horizontal form, that doesn't mean that you have to actually use horizontal form. We can write it in vertical form just as easily. So negative 3x squared plus 5x plus 4. Now remember, I'm subtracting, and I am subtracting negative 4x squared plus 11x minus 2. Remember, we want our like terms to line up with one another. So if this was not written in the same order as this one, you need to change the order so the like terms add up. Now, we're subtracting, so we're going to change that subtraction symbol to addition, change the subtractions, the negatives to positives, and change my positives to negatives. Now, we're going to add negative 3x squared plus 4x squared. That's positive 4 minus 3. That's 1x squared. Plus 5x minus 11x. 5 minus 11 is negative 6x. And then we have 4 plus 2, which is plus 6. So my final answer, no matter which method I used, if I did the horizontal method or the vertical method, would be x squared minus 6x plus 6. If you got this answer, then I think you understand how to subtract polynomials. Just remember, step 1, take that negative sign and distribute it. Rewrite the problem as an addition problem. Then, step 2, once you've done that, you can add the polynomials the way that we learned how to add by combining like terms.